When I first started going to the gym, I definitely was not making the most out of my time. I remember going on my phone in between sets, doing way too much junk volume, doing multiple variations of one exercise, and in general just not really knowing what I was doing when it came to being efficient in the gym. I know that the gym is an incredible habit and it makes us healthier, makes us stronger, it makes us more confident. I actually made a whole video about all the benefits. But I actually think that it's not a good thing to spend 2 to 3 hours in the gym when you could be doing other things, especially when it's junk volume and it's not as effective. Over time, I've definitely leveled up my efficiency. I spend less time in the gym, and I believe my workouts to be way more effective. So the first thing I did was I stopped going on my phone in between sets. When you go on your phone in between sets, it's incredibly distracting and it will sap your focus away from your workout, decreasing your intensity and just making you softer in the gym, which is not something you want. Another thing is, even if you're managing your rest time properly with like a timer or something like that, you'll still want to finish whatever you're doing on your phone even when the timer goes off. Doesn't matter if it's a 1 minute timer or even a 10-minute timer. You'll still want to finish changing the song, finish the note that you're making in your notes app, finish that text you're sending somebody. Whatever it is, you'll want to finish it, and it's going to take away from your workout. The next thing that I did was I stopped doing push-pull legs workouts, and I also stopped doing anything where the muscle groups weren't opposing. What I mean by that is when you do a bench press, you're hitting your chest, but you're also hitting your triceps, which makes you unable to do something like a superset with a chest exercise and a tricep exercise. Because when you get to that tricep exercise, they'll be slightly fatigued by that bench press. So what I started doing is doing workouts similar to what Arnold did. You do opposing workouts on the same day, such as chest and back, biceps and triceps, anything of that sort. When you do that, it makes the ability to superset. When you do a superset, you can do one exercise and another exercise back to back and rest for only one rest period in between those two. Instead of exercise, rest, exercise, rest, you do exercise, exercise, rest, exercise, exercise, rest. It'll decrease your time period and in general make your workouts so much more effective. I also stopped valuing the amount of volume I was doing in the gym. What I started doing instead of that is I valued my intensity. Sometimes I even do 2 sets in the gym instead of 3. But my intensity is honestly crazy. I go all the way to failure to the point where if I had a gun to my head, I could not do another rep. I do partial reps. I hold out the last rep and I pause for a second. I get 2 to 3 more, sometimes I even pause again. And then I drop the weight by half and do the same thing over again. That is 1 set for me. If you do 1 set like that, you're going to destroy even the people who are doing 4 sets of 12 exercises and barely getting close to failure. I upped my intensity. I didn't worry about how much time I was spending in the gym. All I worry about is the quality of my sets. Another thing I did was I picked the right exercises. When it comes to things like legs, you really don't need a lot of exercises. It's going to be uncomfortable because the right exercises that hit the most muscle groups, those heavy compound exercises, are going to be more effective, yet they're extremely hard to do and uncomfortable. Someone is more likely to throw up or faint or pass out after doing a set of squats or deadlifts than a set of leg press or leg extension. It's just how it is. But those exercises happen to be the most effective ones. For legs, I mostly just do squats, deadlifts, and calf raises. That's really all you need. You get squats, hit the glutes and the quads, and the deadlifts hit your lower back, your hamstrings, and some glutes. And you really only need those calf raises for your legs. And in my opinion, you don't 100% need to hit a muscle group twice in a week to grow it. Some bodybuilders say that they only hit legs like once every 2 weeks. If you really have great intensity and you're picking the right exercises, volume becomes somewhat irrelevant. Obviously, you can't do a monster leg workout once a year and expect to grow legs like Tom Platz. But the reason why the heavy compound lifts like squats, deadlifts, barbell rows, barbell overhead presses, barbell bench press. The reasons why those are so good is because they target multiple muscle groups. However, I do personally love isolation exercises. If I really want to kill my chest, I love a good machine chest press or a dumbbell bench. But when I'm trying to make the most of my time, I go for the barbell incline bench and the barbell bench press because of the stabilization and the amount of athleticism that's required in those movements, you make more progress when you just stick to those. I've never seen one person with a heavy ass bench press that doesn't have a big chest. I've never seen someone who can deadlift 600 pounds with a small back. You might say that it's not 100% optimal, it doesn't isolate 100%, but I think there's something to be said by doing things that are difficult as hell. And the more you put out in your workouts, the more effective they will be time-wise and everything else. So, in conclusion, if you want to make the most out of your workouts, don't go on your phone in between sets. Don't be redundant. Don't do 2 variations of the same exercise. Pick the most effective exercises with the most bang for your buck. Do supersets, do drop sets, and do pause sets. And really, that's all you need. You should be able to work out for 45 minutes to an hour and get a more effective workout than someone who's spending 2.5 hours every day. Another piece of advice is people tell you that for strength building and muscle building, you need to spend 3 minutes resting in between sets, or whatever they choose to say. 2 to 5 minutes, 3 to 5 minutes, it doesn't really matter. The reality is, it really depends on the exercise. A rule of thumb that I go by, this is kind of bro science, so you don't have to listen to me 100%. The smaller the muscle, the less I rest. Because some muscles are faster twitch. Like your abs, you need to rest maybe 30 seconds to a minute. But your legs, you should do those 3 to 5 minutes. If you're going to failure on a squat, sometimes I rest 4.5 minutes and it doesn't feel right on my next set. I recommend that the smaller the muscle group, you do less rest. It's just a simple way to think about it, but the main thing that you want to pay attention to is if you go to failure on an exercise, within reason, on the next set, you should be able to get the same amount of repetitions with the same weight. That's how you know you're resting enough. You don't really need to overdo it and do 3 minutes for every exercise because, to be honest, waiting 3 minutes in between a set of crunches is pretty ridiculous. But I hope this video helped you guys out, and I hope you guys have a great day.